friends, welcome back. I'm here on my own today because John's gone off to play golf. So I don't know if a lot of you know, but many years ago now I had a gastric bypass surgery, and the reason I'm telling you this is because this recipe is just right up my street, because I absolutely love rice. But since I had my surgery, normal rice, as in basmati or long grain, I cannot stomach. It just does not sit well with me. The only rice that I'm able to eat nicely, doesn't cause problems, is risotto or pudding rice, so short grain rices. So today I'm going to make a risotto. We've already done a mushroom risotto on the channel, and I think we might have done, but I'm not sure, an asparagus and pea. But this is a Risotto Primavera, which is basically a spring vegetable risotto. And I've got this recipe from the Easy Cook magazine. It's a good food magazine full of like easier, quicker recipes, if you like. This recipe is for 2 people, and John will put the ingredients down below like he always does, but bear in mind this is only for 2, whereas most of our recipes are at least for 4. Cost per serving, they're saying around about £1.25, so that's actually a reasonably cheap meal for a lot of people. And you know, risotto is nice and filling, and you can add things or you can take things out and you can change them around to suit yourself. But in our risotto today, we have got onion, carrot, courgette, I've got some spring onions, some frozen peas. Once we've cooked it, they recommend, or they suggest, that you use parmesan. I personally don't like parmesan, so I will be using pecorino, which is, you know, a hard cheese alternative. So at the moment on my heater I have got 600 mils of vegetable stock that I am bringing to the boil. Okay, my stock is now boiling, so I'm going to take it off of this pan or pad and put it onto my stove behind me. Now the thing when you're making risotto is you need your stock to be hot, because if it isn't hot, every time you add stock to your rice you are lowering the temperature and you have to sort of start it all over again. So next thing we're going to do is to add some olive oil. This is a new bottle, to a deep wide pan, so sort of like a saute pan. Turn that down because I want to keep it hot, but I don't want it to evaporate. So once this oil is heated up a little bit, we are going to add our onion. This is the normal onion, not the spring onions. So in goes a onion. And also a carrot. This is a large carrot that's been very finely diced. I would again recommend when you're chopping, you try to make sure that everything is of the same sort of size so that it cooks evenly. Otherwise, if you have big lumps of carrot and small lumps of courgette or small bits of onion, you're going to have cooked one thing and hard something else. Now the other thing about risottos is that if you read the instructions, they more or less always say that the risotto is cooked when the rice is al dente, and as this is a vegetable risotto, they will also say that your vegetables will probably be al dente. That doesn't work for me, I'm afraid. It's one of those things that my stomach really doesn't deal well with, raw or partly cooked food, if you like. So I'm afraid I'm going to cook the death out of mine, but that's just me and the way that I prefer it. You do you. Okay, so if you like your vegetables with a bit of crunch and your rice al dente, that's absolutely fine. You cook it till you think that yours is done. but I will be cooking mine for a little bit longer than most. So the onions are starting to sizzle, and we're going to add my carrot in. Let those sizzle for a few minutes just to get them going. Now into that I'm going to add my courgette, again finely diced. Okay, so that's sizzling nicely, so I'm now going to add into that my risotto rice. This is arborio rice. There are a couple of different types of risotto rice, but make sure that you get a risotto rice. Long grain rice won't do, nor will basmati, and pudding rice won't be right either. So make sure you get the right type of rice. In that goes, and we're going to stir that around now so that the rice gets coated in the olive oil, vegetable juices. We're going to toast that rice for 4 minutes or so, 3 to 4 minutes, just to start breaking down the starches and get it going. And I think that's the difference with risotto rice. Risotto rice has a lot more starch than normal rice, which gives you that lovely creamy smooth texture. Right, now we're ready to start adding stock. So, as I said, you need to use hot stock and add a couple of ladlefuls, maybe 3. Put your stock back on the heat and stir your risotto. Now this is a labour of love, is risotto, because it's something that you can't leave unattended and you have to keep stirring. So you put your stock in, you stir it and love it until the stock's practically gone, and then you add some more, and then you wait for that to soak in, and then you add a little bit more. So this is going to take a while. We're probably going to be here a good 20 minutes stirring this through. So I'll be back when we're nearing the next stage. But in the meantime, once your risotto is soaking up your first lot of stock, then you add the next lot and you continue until you've used all your stock and your rice and vegetables are almost cooked. So I'll be back in a little while. So this is bubbling away nicely now, and it is getting quite creamy as the rice releases its starches. I'm going to do a little close up on my phone so you can see what it looks like. There we go. Looking nice and creamy. So now I am going to add the frozen peas in, and also the spring onions. Give that a good mix in. The colours of this is absolutely beautiful. It really is. Spring in a dish, or it will be. Add some more stock. Had to make a little bit more stock because I ran out. Stir that in. So I'm going to leave this for another 5 minutes, just bubbling away, adding a bit more stock as I go to let the peas cook through, and then I will test to see how we're doing with the rice and see how much longer we need to do. But we are getting there slowly. Okay, so that's had a good 5 minutes for the peas to cook. I'm just going to test it to make sure that the vegetables and everything are cooked, and then we will finish up. So, just the rice first. Perfect. Just check my carrot and peas. Yep, lovely. Right, now at this point you need to check for seasoning. Now, depending on what stock cube you use, there may already be enough salt in it, but just check, and if you need to add salt then do. I don't. So I'm going to remove this hot plate. Over there, out of the way. And then we are going to finish. So we take your risotto off of the heat. Take a knob of butter, put it into your risotto and stir it through. Give it a really good mix around, because this is also going to add to the absolute luxurious creaminess that is risotto. Also, again, when you're seasoning, if you're using salted butter, be wary, because you can't take salt out. That's the thing, isn't it? Keep stirring until you've no butter left. Oops, that's it, all over the table. There we go. And that is perfect. So I'm going to dish some into a bowl. This recipe said for 2, but to be fair, if 2 of you ate this, I'd be amazed. I think the vegetables bulked out quite significantly. Then I'm going to add a little bit of pecorino. You can add parmesan if you like, you can stir it through if you like, or just put a bit on top like that. I'm going to take a little picture and then I will taste it for you. I'm sure John will be able to do something with one of those. Now, let's have a little taste. It smells fab again. Home cooking, there's just something about it. You know, when you walk into a room and you smell good home cooked food, it's just perfect, isn't it, really? That is delicious. It's creamy, but it's also light. So I guess that's what you would expect from a spring vegetable. It's nowhere near as heavy as the mushroom risotto. It's warming, it's filling, but it's light. Perfect for this time of year. I certainly am going to be having this for my tea. If you want to try and reheat risotto, you can just add a little bit more stock and warm it through gently. That should heat through quite nicely. But this is a brilliant recipe and it's cheap and cheerful, which is always a bonus. So, really hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, give us a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do. It really helps us out. If you have subscribed, make sure you've hit the notification bell so you know when we're around. And we've now got a page on TikTok. Not much going on over there because we've only just started it, but it's Big OGGIE World over on TikTok. We are also on Facebook, Big OGGIE World, on our Facebook page. That's a public page. You can just go over there and join, add yourself on, and have a chat basically. So, as I said, hope you've all enjoyed it. We will see you all again really soon. Bye for now.